Hey there, you're tuned in to MEA Worldwide. I'm your host, Elena Jordan, and today we are at Paley Fest checking out the new Hulu hit, Wu-Tang and American Saga. We're going to be talking to the cast and the crew, so be sure to stay tuned. Hey guys, we are here with the icon himself, Prince Rakim, Bobby Digital, Bobby RZA.
You start checking off names on me.
I mean, you've done everything. You've done, the scores for movies like Kill Bill. You starred and directed in movies like Man with the Iron Fist.
Wow.
But the biggest thing is changing the game with Wu-Tang. So, of everything that you've done, how did everything come together to the culmination of this moment, of this show?
Wow. Well, I think that this show is a culmination. This show is called Wu-Tang and American Saga, and it's chronicling that journey. And, I had many aspirations, of course, and I've achieved a lot of them, but to have this TV series go back to my old neighborhood and go back to the old house that my mom raised us in, and to bring it to life for a new generation, it's such a culmination of everything. This has been the bong bonger.
So wait a minute, so you went to the real places where you grew up to film?
Yeah, we went to 88 Laurel Avenue, right? And it was just so many days I would come home from school and go into that basement and just start playing with the equipment, and comic books is on the floor, records everywhere, and it was so cool to watch our actor Ashton Sanders also discover things, because he had to learn how to use these machines, and we filmed him learning, and so you get this real sense of the same thing I had to go through. I got this machine called the SP1200, no instruction manual, okay? And this is, and I got to make a beat with this. I got to sample the song, truncate it, I got to loop it, okay? I got to filter it, I got to control the pitch, okay? And then I got to quantize it, right? And I got to choose my time signature, and there's no instructions. There's some writing on it that gives you some hints, but there's no manual. And I just stayed up days. And then Raekwon would come over and he'll hear what I made, and he'll grab the mic, So to see us kind of relive that is a beauty. It's a beauty.
Hey there, we are here with Alex C., who is the co-creator, writer, showrunner extraordinaire of Wu-Tang and American Saga. And man, you have written some of my all-time favorites, Sucker Free City, Watchmen, you are just iconic. So going into this, how is this different for you, writing this versus the more fictionalized stories that you have written in the past?
Honestly, even though there was a lot of pressure writing Watchmen, because that was a beloved property and it meant so much to me, the combination of what Wu-Tang meant for me and that it meant so much to other people and means so much to other people in the world. And that's a tremendous amount of responsibility. And, I was just talking to RZA the other day that, if it was completely my own thing and a separate story, I could kind of live with messing that up. But if this was I would, no matter what I would do for the rest of my career, if I screwed up on Wu-Tang, I would never for myself be able to live that down.
So did you kind of come up as a Wu-Tang fan, or did?
Yeah, huge, yeah, totally.
So how did that collaboration come about with RZA? How did you know each other beforehand? Did he reach out to you?
No, I didn't. Imagine, was already working with him. They have known him, I think, since the first thing was American Gangster. They worked with him, and then he was in, I always mess up the name, but he was in, I think, Gang Related, which was a Fox show in which he was a cast member. So they had a relationship, and they were interested in telling the Wu-Tang story. He was working with them on it. I had just a meeting with them, and then they asked me, are you a fan of the clan? I'm like, yes. And then, they were like, would you like to meet RZA? I'm like, yeah. And then we just kind of met and kind of vibed each other out, and he wasn't totally offended by me, so we ended up working together. Yeah.
Hey there, we are here with Johnell Young, who plays Gary, aka RZA. Now, I know that you're from Staten Island too.
Yes, I am.
So, did you grow up on Wu-Tang?
Grew up on Wu-Tang. I ate Wu-Tang. I was Wu-Tang in my Similac, so it's running through my veins right now. Yeah.
Living that seven-chamber life.
Living that 7-chamber, 36-chamber life. You know a little stuff. Okay.
Now, I have to ask you too, because this is such a monumental role. How do you prepare for something like this?
You become RZA. You turn your phone off. You turn PS4, everything off. YouTube was my best friend. YouTube and his number was my best friend. I was texting him, trying to pick his brain, YouTube and trying to get his cadences, mannerisms, everything down packed. You don't want to mess up a hip hop legend like that. Not me. Not me.
So would you say that you guys are friends now? Have you talked to him enough that you feel like?
Yeah, I call him Unc. I randomly text him Harry every now and then, be like, yo, how you doing, Unc? What's going on? You having a good day? Now, just off the Hollywood stuff, because to have him in the world and to be able to have him as a resource and somebody I could speak to help me with life, I feel like I need to take advantage of that. He's a great guy.
Hi, we are here with Zoli Gregg, who plays Cherie, Hi! Now, this is kind of an interesting role, too, because not only is she based on a real person, she's actually based on an amalgamation of 3 different people. Yes. Do you think that, for you personally, do you feel that it's more intimidating for it to be this amalgamation, or do you feel like it gives you a little bit of creative freedom because you don't have to stick to the logistics of just one person?
I think, yeah, it does give me creative freedom because I can tap into different aspects and characteristics of each sister. You know, I know that one of his sisters is like a badass and she would fight a bunch of people, and one of his sisters, like, you know, is a softer one and a sweet one and all that. So I get to, you know, pop out as different little pieces here and there, which is really dope.
That's part of what I love about your character too, is because she is so dynamic. She's this super optimistic, like little ray of sunshine.
Thank you.
But then at the same time, we find out like the first episode, she's like, I'll clothesline somebody if you mess with my brother. I'll take you out.
Exactly.
So why do you think that it's important on this show, since you are kind of the one female character, to represent all of these different aspects to make it a fully dynamic character?
Because it shows, honestly, I think Cherie represents a lot of women and a lot of, like, not the burden, but the weight that women have to go through sometimes. You know, she's taking care of little brothers, older brothers, her own mother, herself, you know, and so she's doing all these different things. But the cool thing is she handles it all. She figures a way to do it. And so it's really impressive, especially because she's 17. Like, that's really young to be doing all this different stuff, but she makes it work. And I feel like women, we make it work. So she's really dope.
We have had an amazing time talking to the cast and the crew of Wu-Tang and American Saga. Be sure to check out the series on Hulu and tune in to MEA Worldwide for more of our interviews and exclusive content. See you guys next time.